Hello, and welcome back to Easy Breezy English, where learning English feels natural, easy, and fun. I'm Kate.
And I'm Josh. Hey, Kate, how's everything going today?
Great, Josh. I'm really excited about today's episode because we're covering something super practical.
That's right. Today we're going to help our listeners talk about their jobs in English. This is such an important topic.
Absolutely. Work is such a huge part of our lives. We spend so much time at our jobs, and talking about work is one of the first conversations you'll have when meeting new people.
Exactly. Whether you're at a party, a networking event, meeting your partner's friends, or just making small talk with someone new, people always ask, "What do you do?" And you need to be ready to answer confidently.
Right. And it's not just casual situations. Talking about your job comes up in professional settings too. Interviews, business meetings, conferences, it's everywhere.
So today, we're bringing you 10 real English conversations about work, all at A1 and A2 level, which means they're perfect for beginners.
These aren't fancy business English or complicated corporate jargon. These are simple, natural conversations that regular people have every single day.
And just like always, we're going to act them out so you can hear exactly how they sound in real life with real intonation and natural flow.
Before we jump in, if you're enjoying this podcast and finding it helpful, please subscribe and share it with your friends, classmates, or anyone you know who's learning English.
And definitely leave us a comment. Tell us what you do for work and which conversation was most helpful for you. We absolutely love hearing from our listeners and learning about your experiences.
Your feedback helps us create better content for you, so don't be shy. All right, Josh, let's start with the basics. Conversation number one is probably the most common question about work that you'll ever hear.
Right. Someone asks you, "What do you do?" This happens constantly. Let's show everyone how to answer this naturally and keep the conversation flowing.
Okay, let me ask you. So, Josh, what do you do for work?
I'm a teacher. I teach English to adults at a language school. What about you, Kate?
I work in IT. I'm a software developer at a tech company.
Oh, that's interesting. Do you like it?
Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's challenging, but fun. There's always something new to learn.
That's great. I can imagine technology changes so fast.
It does. That's part of what makes it exciting.
There's conversation one, simple, natural, and friendly. You say what you do, then ask the other person about their work.
And notice we kept it simple at first. You don't need to explain every detail about your job right away. Just give a clear, basic answer.
Exactly. And see how we showed interest by asking follow-up questions? That's what keeps a conversation going naturally.
Great points. You're not just answering and walking away, you're building a connection. Now, conversation two is when someone asks you where you work.
This is such a natural follow-up question after "what do you do?" People want to know a bit more detail.
Let's demonstrate.
So, Kate, where do you work exactly?
I work at a language school downtown. It's called English First. It's a nice place, right near the subway station. How about you?
I work for a tech company called Digital Solutions. Our office is in the business district.
Oh, I know that area. Is it a big company?
Pretty big, yeah. About 200 employees across 3 floors.
Oh, wow, that is big. Do you know everyone there?
Not everyone, but I know most people on my floor. It's a friendly environment, though. That's conversation two, asking where someone works and giving a bit more detail about the location and size.
And see how I mentioned the company name, the location, and the size? Those little details keep the conversation interesting and give the other person things to respond to.
Absolutely. Each detail is like giving someone a little hook to continue the conversation. Great strategy. Now, conversation 3 is about asking how long someone has worked somewhere.
Yes, this shows genuine interest in the person's experience and career path. It's a very common question. Let me start this one. So, Josh, how long have you been working at English First?
I've been there for 3 years now. Can you believe it? Time really flies. What about you? How long have you been at Digital Solutions?
Just 6 months. I'm still pretty new, actually.
Oh, so you're still in that learning phase.
Yeah, exactly. There's so much to learn about the systems and processes, but my team is really helpful, so it's going well.
That's so important. Having supportive coworkers makes all the difference when you're new.
It really does. I was worried at first, but everyone's been great about answering my questions.
Perfect. That's conversation 3, talking about how long you've been at your job.
And notice the phrase, I've been there for. That's super natural and commonly used by native speakers. Also, time flies is a great expression.
Yes. And we also talked about being new and having supportive coworkers. Those are natural extensions of the conversation. Now, conversation 4 is about your daily responsibilities and tasks. People often want to know what you actually do at work, not just your job title.
Right. Because saying I'm a teacher or I'm a developer doesn't tell the whole story. Let's show them how to explain their daily task in simple, clear English. So, Josh, what do you do exactly at your job? Like, what's a typical day like for you?
Well, I usually teach about 4 or 5 classes a day. Each class is about an hour long. Between classes, I prepare lessons, create activities, and grade homework. I also have meetings with other teachers once a week. What about your daily routine?
My day is pretty varied. I write code for websites and apps, which takes up most of my time. I also fix bugs when they come up, attend team meetings, and sometimes I help train new employees.
That sounds like a lot of different responsibilities.
It is, but I like the variety. It keeps things interesting. I get bored doing the same thing all day.
I totally understand that. Variety definitely makes work more engaging. Excellent. That's how you describe your daily work in simple, understandable terms.
You don't need fancy vocabulary or technical jargon. Just explain what you do in plain, everyday English that anyone can understand.
Exactly right. And notice how we both mentioned specific numbers and details, like 4 or 5 classes or once a week. That makes your description more concrete and believable. Now, conversation 5 is about working hours. This is super common when people are comparing jobs or talking about work-life balance.
Yes, everyone wants to know about schedules. Let me be curious about Josh's working hours. What are your working hours like, Josh?
I work 9 to 5 from Monday through Friday, pretty standard office hours. It's nice having weekends completely free. How about you? What's your schedule?
Mine are a bit different, actually. I teach from noon until 8 in the evening.
Oh, so you start later in the day.
Yeah, exactly. Most of our students work regular day jobs, so they can only come to class in the evening.
That makes total sense. Do you like having mornings free?
Actually, yes, I'm definitely not a morning person, so sleeping in a bit is perfect for me. But it means I get home pretty late.
I can imagine. Do you have time for dinner with friends and things like that?
Usually on weekends. During the week, I'm working when most people are free, but you get used to it.
There's conversation 5, talking about your schedule and working hours in detail.
And notice how we explained why the schedule is that way. That adds helpful context and makes the conversation more interesting.
Absolutely. It's not just stating facts, it's having a real conversation with reasons and explanations. Good observation. Conversation 6 is about your commute to work, how you get there every day.
This is another really common topic, especially in big cities where commuting can be a huge part of your day.
That's so true. Some people spend 2 hours a day commuting. It's a big deal. Let's talk about it. So, Kate, how do you get to work every day?
I take the subway. It's pretty convenient, actually. It takes about 25 minutes door to door. How about you?
I drive. It's about 30-minute drive if there's no traffic.
And if there is traffic?
Oh man, sometimes it can take an hour or even longer. It can be really frustrating, especially on Monday mornings.
I bet. That's a big difference. Have you ever thought about taking public transportation instead?
I have, but I need my car for other things after work. Plus, I like having the flexibility.
That makes sense. At least you can listen to podcasts or music while driving.
True, I've gotten through so many audiobooks during my commute. That's Conversation 6, talking about how you get to work.
That must be so rewarding.
It is, especially when we launch something and users say they love what we built. Getting that positive feedback makes all the hard work and late nights worthwhile.
I can imagine. That feedback really validates your effort and creativity.
Exactly. It reminds you why you do what you do.
That's Conversation 9, talking about the best parts of your job and what motivates you.
This is where your genuine passion and enthusiasm really shine through. And it makes conversations so much more engaging and memorable when you share what you truly love.
Absolutely. People connect with authentic excitement. And finally, Conversation 10 is about future work plans or career goals.
Yes, this shows you're thinking ahead and have ambition. It's a great way to discuss your professional development.
Let's wrap up with this forward-looking conversation. So, Josh, do you see yourself staying at your current job for a while, or do you have other plans?
I think I'll stay for at least a few more years. I want to gain more experience and eventually become a senior developer. That's my next career goal. What about you? Are you planning to stay in teaching, or do you have any plans to change jobs?
I love teaching, so I'll definitely stay in education. But eventually, maybe in 5 or 10 years, I'd really like to open my own language school.
Oh, wow, that's a really big goal. Have you thought about what kind of school you'd want to create?
Yeah, I have lots of ideas. I'd want it to be small and personal, focused on conversation and real-world English. But that's a long-term dream. I need more experience first, and I need to save money.
That sounds like a solid plan. It's good to have long-term goals to work toward. And running your own business would give you so much freedom.
Exactly. That's the dream. But for now, I'm happy where I am and learning as much as I can.
That's a great attitude. Good luck with your future plans.
Thank you. And good luck becoming a senior developer. I'm sure you'll get there.
And there we have it, Kate. 10 complete real-life conversations about work in English.
Wow, Josh, we really covered everything, didn't we? These conversations cover the full spectrum of talking about your work.
We really did. From basic questions like what do you do to much deeper topics like challenges, favorite aspects, and future goals. This is a complete toolkit for talking about your job.
And the beautiful thing is, all of these conversations are completely realistic. This is exactly how native speakers actually talk about their jobs in everyday situations.
Right. We didn't make these formal or textbook-like. We kept everything at A1 and A2 level, but it still sounds totally natural and authentic, like real people having real conversations.
Exactly, because that's what actually matters in real life. You need to sound natural, not like you're reading from a textbook.
So here's our advice for everyone listening. Think carefully about your own personal answers to all these questions.
That's such great advice. Go through each conversation one by one and prepare your personal answers. What do you do? Where do you work? How long have you been there? What's your typical day like?
And don't just think about the answers in your head. Actually practice saying them out loud. This is so important.
Yes, speaking the words out loud is completely different from just thinking them. Your mouth needs to practice forming the sounds and sentences.
You can practice in front of a mirror so you can see your facial expressions, or record yourself on your phone and listen back, or even better, practice with a friend or language partner who can give you feedback.
Those are all excellent practice methods. And remember, you don't need to memorize perfect word for word sentences. That would sound robotic and unnatural anyway.
Exactly. Just know the key information about your job and be able to talk about it naturally and conversationally, in your own words.
Right. It's much more important to communicate clearly and naturally than to speak with perfect grammar. People will understand you if you make small mistakes.
And here's another really valuable tip. These conversations work in both directions. You're not just answering questions, you can ask these same questions to other people too.
That's such a good point, Josh. When you meet someone new at work, at a party, or anywhere, you can ask, "What do you do?" Or "How do you like your job?" Or "What's the most challenging part of your work?"
Exactly. Showing genuine interest in other people's work is an excellent way to build connections and have meaningful, engaging conversations.
And people generally love talking about their jobs, especially if they enjoy what they do or have interesting stories to share.
So, our challenge to you this week is simple but important. Have at least one conversation about work in English.
Talk to a coworker if you work in an English speaking environment, chat with a classmate, meet someone at a networking event, or even practice with a friend or language exchange partner online.
Use at least 3 of the 10 conversations we practiced today in a real interaction. Then come back here and tell us all about how it went.
Yes, please leave a comment or send us a message with your experience. We genuinely want to hear your success stories and even your challenges.
Your stories help us understand what's working and what you need more help with, so please share. And if you found this episode helpful and practical, please share it with anyone who's learning English or who might be looking for a job.
These conversations are perfect for job interviews too. Many interview questions are actually quite similar to what we practiced today.
That's so true, Josh. Questions like what do you do in your current job? What are your strengths and challenges? And what are your career goals come up in almost every single job interview.
So you're not just learning to make small talk at parties, you're also actively preparing for professional situations like interviews, networking events, and business meetings.
Exactly. This is practical, useful English that you'll use again and again throughout your entire career, no matter what field you're in.
Don't forget to subscribe to Easy Breezy English so you don't miss any of our future episodes.
We have so many more practical lessons coming up, covering all different aspects of daily life, work, travel, and social situations in English.
Remember, learning English isn't about achieving perfection. It's really about communication and making connections with people.
Absolutely. Every conversation you have, even if you make mistakes, even if you have to stop and think, even if you need to ask someone to repeat, is valuable practice that makes you better and more confident.
So be brave, speak up, and don't worry at all about being perfect. Just focus on being clear and being understood.
You've got this. You now have 10 solid conversation templates about work. That's a really strong foundation to build on.
And as you use them more and more in real situations, they'll become increasingly natural and automatic. You won't even have to think about it.
Before you know it, talking about your job in English will feel completely easy and comfortable, just like talking about it in your native language.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Easy Breezy English. We really appreciate you spending this time with us.
Yes, thank you so much for being here and for your commitment to improving your English. We hope these 10 conversations help you feel much more confident talking about your work in English.
Practice these dialogues regularly, make them your own with your personal details, and most importantly, use them in real life.
Keep learning, keep practicing, stay positive, and most important of all, keep talking and putting yourself out there.
Until next time, happy learning, everyone.
Take care and see you in the next episode.
Goodbye.
Bye.